Hello everyone, my name is Janelle Jandali. I'm a student at Bill University and I'm currently studying in the Department of Business. My major is International Finance. So the main video here, the main point of that video actually is to ask us students what stresses us the most about college, about university in general, and how do we usually manage to cope with that stress. So for example, when it comes to me, what stresses me the most about my major is the excessive amount of assignments and projects that needs to be held in a very short due date. Like usually I don't have the time to catch up with my friends or have my own time, whatever, because I'm stressed most of the time, just trying to make sure I finish everything on time. And also, as well as half of the courses being online, that's also severely effective to us, since usually we don't always have the time to catch up with all classes on time, so we always tend to leave the recordings or the classes till the very end. And after everything accumulates all together, you just feel like there's lots going on, like you're missing a lot of things, and you really need to catch up with them all behind before approaching your midterms or finals. So that topic alone just stresses me a lot. So here, the main point for that video is we try to go around in uni and ask different students from different departments. Unfortunately, we couldn't just focus on one department, which was supposed to be architecture. So, and it tends to be also our target audience was college students, so that's why everything was held in university. And of course, the stress differs from one person to another. I mean, many students were stressed because of the load of assignments, and many were stressed that they can't catch up everything with time. However, the solution here that I want to talk about actually, and I want to propose to all these students, to all of the stressed college students out there, especially coming from that course, the mind, body, and resilience, the professor taught us a lot about meditation, about mindfulness, and all of that, and how it tends to actually calm us down and let us be in the present and just let go of all these negative thoughts without actually taking it into consideration and being so stressed out over something that we can control and fix. So let's say, for example, as we know that mindfulness is to just let us stay focused in the present and let us just let go of all these negative, unnecessary, unpleasant thoughts about us being stressed, about us not finishing our assignments or our projects on the due date, or about us being behind everything, or about us being scared to fail a certain course or whatever. We just need to think in a positive way. We need to talk to ourselves and convince ourselves that we can do it, because we sincerely can do it if we put the effort there, if we try to manage it in a simple, easy way. If, let's say, for example, if you try to do your own schedule, your own timetable, where you divide your tasks, you divide your classes, what you're supposed to be done. Let's say if the due date is coming soon, then you need to be done with that at first, and then maybe leave the rest till the end since you have more time for it. So here, mindfulness and meditation, especially meditation in the morning or whatever you feel stressed, just taking a deep breath and feeling your sensations and letting it all out is just gonna help you to calm down at the moment and help you perform so much better than you thought you were doing. So now with the rest of the video, you're gonna see different students talking about their stresses, what stresses them out the most in college, and how do they usually manage to cope with that. And I hope you all get to benefit from these solutions and the way different students cope with their different stress. Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Gökçam. I am a second year economics student at Bilgi University, and I'm in my third year at school. Most of the time, coping with stress can be more difficult for me than stress, because this may seem like a necessity. That's why I prefer to ignore it most of the time rather than deal with it. Stress is something that is found in every aspect of our lives and something that we create most of the time. It seems so unnecessary to me to make something invisible real. I push this feeling away from myself, prefer to feel other things. That's why I prefer to deal with stress by meditating. I try to let go of all the negative by convincing my mind a positive way, such as being aware that I can do it and manage wisely to finish everything on time without stressing and out and going with the flow.
Hello, my name is Selin, and I am a marketing student at Bilgi University. When I am stressed, I prefer to sleep if I can cope with it. But if my stress coefficient is increasing, I need a change in the environment. That's why I leave the house and spend with my friends and even stay with them. It is very important to me get away from the sources of stress. And I go to different environments as much possible and listen to my head. When I am alone, I listen to music or practice writing. The music I listen to usually arabesque. I do not recommend alcohol or other addictive substances to forget the sources of my stress. In short, when I am under stress, I take time for myself and give myself a chance to breathe. Afterwards, I come back stronger and focus on what I am going to.
Hello, my name is Berk. I'm studying at Bilgi University and my department is Mechatronics Engineering. This is my third year and we are doing a project about how people get over with stress. First, I tell myself how to get over with it. I get over with stress with meditation sometimes. I try doing meditation, but it's not works for me because I don't know, I can't focusing to meditate. So I usually do another things to distract myself, being a part of stress, like playing games or watching series, films, or I look Instagram. Usually it's a part me. Like I don't think anything while I'm looking Instagram, sliding reels like that. This is how I get over with stress. I don't use alcohol. Usually it's not works for me. Also, this is how I get over stress. We ask many people how to get over with stress. Some of them using alcohol, some of them playing games like me, watching movies, watching series. Everyone doing different methods. But some people successful at meditating. I don't know how they do it. How are they doing? I don't know. It's hard to being mindfulness. Let's watch what people say and how them get over with stress. Thank you for listening and watching.
Hello, which department are you in?
I study the Economics and Finance department in Bilgi.
Alright, and what stresses you the most about that major?
There are a lot of things that stress me, but like the things that are getting to be the most are that how demanding my course is getting, how demanding my major is getting. I'm in my third year right now, and like it's very hard to cope with the stress, especially because it's all online, and most of my courses are like practice based.
Practical. You need to like interact with the professor, you need to interact with your classmates.
The teacher, the classmates, and it's so hard to do that when it's online. And so there's a lot of problems, but like it is what it is.
Yeah.
And like I'm majorly failing one course right now just because it's online and it's one of the hardest courses in my major. It's econometrics.
And how do you usually cope with that? Do you try to do like your own schedule, divide the tasks, and try not to pressure yourself?
Okay, there is no such thing as trying not to pressure myself because pressure is like the only way I get myself to work.
Yeah.
And like I like it. Like I
Under
like the
pressure.
It's where I perform the best. So yeah, that's why there's just 1 week in exams and I'm hitting the library right now.
Good luck. Have a good day. Hello, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine.
I just want to ask you, what department you're in?
Business administration.
Alright, and what stresses you the most about that major?
We have many assignments and quizzes like in the
Yeah.
There's no time to do that.
Yeah, usually you don't have time to catch up with other like courses or whatever. And do you have time to enroll for elective courses or?
Yeah, sure. I'm actually taking minor program
and yeah, I'm taking it.
All right. And how do you usually cope with the stress? Do you cope with the load of assignments and pressure?
I just say it will be okay. It's just for my benefit. Whenever
like
I have to get out of the comfort zone.
All right,
If I
that's
got
100% true. It's like
comfort zone,
mindfulness. You
yeah.
try to focus on the
Yeah.
present. You try to convince yourself that it's going to be all right.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much.
Merhaba, benim ismim Soyeda Nur Çokadar. Bilgi Üniversitesi'nde Sosyal Projeler ve Sivil Toplum Yönetimi programında yüksek lisans yapıyorum.
Stresle nasıl başa çıkıyorsunuz?
Stresle nasıl başa çıkıyorum? Genelde stresli olduğum durumlarda ilk önce sessiz olmaya çalışırım. Kendi içime çekilirim. Neyin bende stres oluşturduğunu anlamaya çalışırım. Daha sonra onunla yüzleşerek kendimi rahatlatma yöntemleri ararım. Çünkü genelde tek başıma yaptığım şeyler olur. Belki bir şeyler izlerim, komik şeyler izlemeye çalışırım. Eğer birisiyle yaşadığım şeyden dolayı stres yaşadıysam muhakkak gider o kişiyle neden bu konuda bende stres oluşturduğunu konuşarak onda benim hakkında farkındalık oluşturmaya çalışırım. Eğer insan dışı bir stres unsuruysa da genelde o olaydan biraz uzaklaşıp kendimi güldürerek sakinleştirir. Daha sonra o işe dingin bir kafayla geri dönerim.
Hello, hope you're doing well. Which department are you in?
Management Information Systems.
What usually stresses you the most about that major?
Lack of material and a big workload.
Yeah, usually you tend to be so pressured. You don't have time
Yes.
for other courses or whatever.
Yes.
All right. And how do you cope with the stress? What techniques do you use in order to diminish the
I
stress?
manage my time and I use online sources to study.
And
Yes.
usually, like, you have your own schedule, let's say, to divide different courses.
I do my own schedule.
All right. Thank you so much.
Söylesen sonra ben
Tamam, adımla başlıyorum. Benim adım Helin Akyol. Burada yüksek lisans yapıyorum. Sosyal araştırmalar ve sivil toplum yönetimi bölümünde.
Stresle nasıl başa çıkıyorsunuz?
Stresle başa çıkma yöntemi olarak kabul etmeyi seçtim. Bastırmak yerine stresi görüp onun neden var olduğunu ve var olmasının normal olduğunu kabul edip azaltmanın yoluna bakıyorum. Yani bastırmak veya yok etmek değil, stresi kabul edip azaltma yollarını tercih ediyorum.
Hello, how are you? I just want to ask you, what department are you in?
Management Informatics System.
And usually, what stresses you the most about that major?
We have lots of assignments, actually assignments for programming. So this actually stresses me the most, and also the high percentage in our exams, like 60% for one exam, few questions. It's just
Yeah, that usually diminishes the percentage for you to take. Hello, hope you're doing well. I just want to ask you, what department are you in?
The Faculty of Engineering and Natural Sciences.
All right, and what stresses you the most about that major?
I think what stresses me the most about my major is we're tasked a lot with so many projects and assignments, and it's always like towards the ending of the semester.
Yeah.
So it gets really overwhelming.
And it's like a very short due date time,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
you don't really have time to catch up with everything else.
Like
And
it's always stressful.
That's true. And how do you usually cope with that? You cope with the stress. What techniques do you do in order to catch up with everything?
I usually try to, manage my time. I do a
yeah.
lot of time management and try to get involved with as many friends and
Yeah.
my group partners as
That's
well
true.
to get a lot of help to
Yeah.
finish them on time.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
that's how I usually
All
go.
right. Thank you so much.
Thank
Have a
you.
good Hello, what department you're in?
Hi, I'm in the Genetics and Bioengineering department.
Okay, and I just want to ask, what stresses you the most about that major?
We have loads of assignments and we don't have time to study for our exams and a lot of quizzes and etc.
And how do you usually cope with that stress? What do you try to do in order to diminish the stress on you?
I try to study
Individually, like do you prefer to set your own schedule and finish
Yes.
your assignments individually, right?
yes, each week by week. But sometimes it gets like overloaded because of the many courses we take and
All the electives,
yes.
extra electives and whatever.
Exactly.
All right, thank you so much. Hello, hope you're doing well. I just want to ask you, what department are you in?
Business Administration.
Okay, and what usually stresses you the most about that major?
Workload mostly.
Yeah.
There's so much work.
And so much projects and assignments, you can't
Yes.
catch up with all courses, right?
Yes.
Okay, and what do you usually do in order to cope with that stress?
I make time for everything. Like
Yeah. You have your own schedule and you divide it fairly for each course?
divide it in
in a way that will help me cope. With the
And not
stress
stress you out,
Yes.
right? All right. Thank you so much. Have a good day. How are you? Hope you're doing well. I just want to ask you, what department are you in?
I'm doing marketing.
And what stresses you the most about that major?
I mean, anything that has to do with math, man.
Yeah, usually you're
Yeah,
not
I
really
don't-
into math, and you really you don't have time to practice for it, whatever.
Yeah, it's mostly that. I just feel like it's too much pressure.
All right. And do you usually have extra credits or extra time to enroll in any of electives?
Depending if we have a lot of courses that are related to maths and statistics and all that.
You try to cut it off
Yeah,
usually, yeah.
Yeah.
And how do you cope with that stress usually? What do you do in order to not stress a lot about math?
I try to watch my lectures regularly, and it's mostly that I try to take breaks
In between?
study sessions,
Yeah.
so I don't just stress out.
A lot. And
Yeah.
usually you tend to practice a lot.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it's
yeah.
math. All right. Thank you so much.
Adın ne?
Furkan,
Ben de Selin. Bölümün ne?
işletme okuyorum.
Mükemmel. Peki strese nasıl başa çıkıyorsun?
Stresten kaçmakla başa çıkıyorum.
Nasıl kaçıyorsun peki?
Stresli durumlarda bulunmamaya çalışıyorum.
Yalnız mı kalıyorsun?
Yani yalnız.
Ha, sen stresli bir durum olduğunu anladığın an gidiyorsun.
Aynen. Yani başlamadan bitirmek daha önemli.
Peki bir stres yaşadığında ne yapıyorsun? Yaşamıyorum.
Stres yaşadığımda sakin kalmaya çalışıyorum.
Yani güzel. Bu da başka bir yol yani. Tamam. Tanışma memnun oldum. Görüşürüz.
What's your name?
My name is Yasin.
What is your department?
Mechatronics engineering.
Mechatronics engineering. How do you get over with stress?
Basically, we usually as students get stressed because we have many things to study. So one way I use for me to come over stress is by finding a place where I'm comfortable to study, where I can feel that I can control everything. For example, for me, it's my home. I can basically do whatever I want. I can study whenever I want. So I feel like safer, and I don't feel stressed when I'm at home, for example.
I understand. Thank you very much.
İsmin ne?
Melike.
Tanışma memnun oldum. Ben de Selin. Bölümün ne?
Siyaset okuyorum ben.
Mükemmel. Peki siyaset okuyarak biraz zorlanmıyor musun?
Vallahi çok seviyorum. O yüzden çok keyifli derslerim. Yani zaten birinci sınıfım, hiç zorlanmıyorum.
Mükemmel. Peki stresle nasıl başa çıkıyorsun?
Stresle yani şöyle, ben inançlı bir insanım. İnancın nasıl algıladığı herkesin çok farklı ama ben kendimi inançlı olarak tanımlıyorum ve genel olarak inançlarıma sığınıyorum mesela. Buna yaratıcıyla bağlantı denebilir, kimse enerji diyebilir. Ama ben o bağlantıyı sağlayarak stresimi yenmeye çalışıyorum. Onun haricinde fiziksel aktivite yapmaya çalışıyorum. Yani böyle yürüyüş olur, bazen meditasyon, yoga tarzı şeyler olur.
Mükemmel. Tanışma memnun oldum.
Ben de memnun
Ne?
Merhaba, benim adım İrfan Emre Erdem.
Mükemmel. Hangi bölüm okuyorsun?
Halkla İlişkiler 4. sınıftayım.
4. sınıf. Bitmek üzere okulun.
Evet.
Peki stresle nasıl başa çıkıyorsun?
Stresi daha çok evde oturup müzik dinliyorum Spotify'dan. Üzerine bazen akşamleyin alkol alıyorum. Sigara içiyorum yanında. Başka da bir şey yok herhalde.
Peki stresli durumlardan kaçarken ne yapıyorsun?
Daha çok yalnız başıma kalmayı tercih ediyorum diyelim. Stresliysem ve beni neyi strese sokuyorsa ondan uzaklaşmak benim için en iyisi olur.
Başarılı oluyor musun peki?
Genellikle.
Mükemmel. Tanışma memnun oldum.
My name is Abdullah. What is your department?
My department is mechatronics engineering.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, you too? Yeah, that's nice.
And how do you get over with stress?
Okay, so there are more than one type of stress.
Yes.
But me as a student, I have stress of studying and maybe stress of missing my family. So for studying, I just try to get done with it. Like maybe if I have stress of having many things that I didn't study yet, so I manage my time and I study everything. So I get rid of that stress. And talking about the stress of missing my family, I try to talk with them every day, video call or just making sure they are okay and everything.
And it's comfort you.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, thank you.
Bölümün ne?
Merhaba, bilgisayar mühendisliği.
Peki strese nasıl başa çıkıyorsun?
Genelde yapmam gereken şeyleri listeliyorum listede tik attıkça da stresim azalmış oluyor.
Merhaba, bölümün ne?
Bilgisayar mühendisliği.
Peki strese nasıl başa çıkıyorsun?
Tek başıma yalnız kalarak.
Güzel.
Adım Kaan.
Tanışma memnun oldum. Ben de Selin. Bölümün ne?
İşletme okuyorum.
Mükemmel. Peki strese nasıl başa çıkıyorsun?
Stresle başa çıkmak için genelde evdeysem meditasyon yapıyorum. Yoga yapıyorum. Öyle şeyler de.
Peki tamam. Teşekkür ederim.
My name is Marcus. What is your department? Business administration. Now, how do you get over with stress? With stress? Yes. So there are many types of stress.
Yes.
One of them is, let's say, the stress of studying, for example. For me personally, I try to manage my time. Most of the time, I try to manage my time in a way that I don't reach a place where I'm stressed. For example, even if one day I didn't manage my time perfectly and I got stressed with studying, I try to relieve that stress by many different things. One of them is just not actually caring about the topic or the thing and just trying to do as much as I can and then leaving it to God. That's it. Okay, thank you very much.
Bölümün ne?
Dijital oyun tasarımı.
Evet, güzel. Peki strese nasıl başa çıkıyorsun?
Arkadaşlarımla konuşuyorum. Bazı nefes egzersizleri deniyorum ya da çıkamıyorum bazen.
Mükemmel.
What's your name?
My name is Faisal Bashiri.
And what is your department?
I'm studying political science at the Bilgi University.
How do you get on stress?
Well, stress, well, it depends on different kind of stresses, but most of the times I do stuff that I'm good at. Most of the times I play game because it makes me relax, it makes me think, it gives me freedom. And sometimes I go for a walk. Sometimes I try to concentrate on what makes me feel under stress, what makes me feel under pressure. And I try to overcome that issue. I try to solve that inside me, because if I do not solve it, it's going to come back again tomorrow or the week later. So I try to solve it fundamentally by focusing on the issue, focus on the point that makes me stressful, and try to solve it fundamentally. But also it depends on what kind of a stress. Is it the exam stress? Is it about public speaking kind of a stress? Is it about an issue, an unexpected bad news stress? So on different occasions, well, I take different kind of initiatives towards how can I overcome stress.
For example, when you need to speak in public, how do you get over with it?
First of all, I convince myself that everyone will be under stress of public speaking. It's not that the people who are good at speaking, they are not under stress. So everyone is under stress while speaking in public. That's one of the things that I tell myself. And also another method that I use is that I try to feel like I'm educating people, so it gives me a kind of hierarchy between me and my audience, and it gives me confidence to speak better and overcome my stress.
Yes.
But it's still like I still have a stress in one way or another.
Okay, thank you very much.
No problem.